Alright, so today I'm going to be checking out something else from SCP, and this was recommended by Zero, the Maddest Lad, and it's one of the highest requested videos on the server right now. And it is SCP-2845, The Deer. And apparently it's an A, and it's an extraterrestrial. And looking at the thumbnail for this thing, I'm not surprised. This thing looks like it got a waffle iron taken to its face, and those horns are not exactly friendly. In fact, this is something that I think Casual Geographic should do multiple specials on. In any case, this is going to be a lore video from TheVolgun, and I really want to learn a little bit more about this thing. It is a Keter class SCP. If you guys are interested in this video, once again, if you're looking to learn stuff about SCP, if you got introduced to it by my channel, like I got introduced by you guys in comment sections in Discord, go check him out. He is one of the better ones out there with SCP Illustrated and the Exploring series so far. And I just watched a new creator. I'm going to see what you guys have to say about him. But for now, let's get started with the deer. Here we go. I just wanted one wholesome one today. Just one wholesome one. This doesn't look wholesome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-2845. Threat level, Black. Object class, Keter. Special containment procedures.
Okay.
Use of outsourced containment resources and consultants has been authorized for the containment of SCP-2845. Consultants are to be considered Level 2 personnel and are at no time permitted to leave Site-100. If at any time an outside consultant must be removed from containment of SCP-2845, Class A amnestics are to be applied before release. A minimum of 30 trained individuals and an unhindered supply of untrained subjects is required for proper containment of SCP-2845.
Just a real quick thing. Why does that deer's face all of a sudden remind me of Rodney Dangerfield? Just saying.
48 trained personnel are currently assigned to active containment of SCP-2845, split into 8 teams of 6, with a further 24 individuals available as replacements. An allowance of 5 D-Class per week has been authorized for the containment of SCP-2845.
An allowance?
Site-100 has been constructed to the following specifications. Site-100 consists of 9 concentric circular bands, designated Ring A through Ring I, with a gap located between Ring C and Ring D, designated as Gap 1. 6 circular chambers are located at 0, 60, 120, 180, 240, and 300 degrees within each ring and gap.
Okay.
The chambers located at 0 degrees are aligned with geographic north. 2 additional circular chambers are located outside of Ring I, located at 120 and 240 degrees. The floor of each circular chamber contains an unobstructed lead hexagram. The central chamber containing SCP-2845 and 216 instances of SCP-2845-1 is to contain an atmosphere of 96.3% hydrogen, 3.25% helium, and 0.45% ammonia, maintained at -110 degrees Celsius and a pressure of 2.3 bar. The following procedures are all to be carried out in a repeating cycle of 63 hours, 54 minutes. Each procedure is to last 39 minutes, with 10 hours between each procedure. Each procedure must be carried out by 6 individuals. The location of each procedure is denoted in parentheses. At the beginning of each new cycle, containment procedures will be carried out in the next ring closest to the containment chamber. Ceremonial recitations for all procedures and descriptions of all variant costumes may be found in Document 2845-C-EXP.
This sounds complicated.
Procedure 410, Constantin, 60 degrees. Containment specialists are presented with masks, joy, sadness, anger, apathy, fear, and foolishness, and act out Ceremony Constantin A. Ceremony Constantin A is a farcical comedy of errors and exchange of insults between the 6 individuals, culminating in foolishness outwitting the group in a game of riddles and declaring himself king. The conclusion of Ceremony Constantin A is followed by a game of dice. The winner of the game is irrelevant to the procedure. Procedure 420, Perinaldo, 120 degrees. Performance of a musical piece for flute, oboe, clarinet, French horn, timpani, and bass drum. The piece is accompanied by specific somatic and vocal components carried out by the players throughout the performance, designated Ceremony Perinaldo A. The performance must be live. Recordings of the piece have no effect.
Lovely.
Procedure 430, Epimetheus, 180 degrees. Gifts are exchanged among containment specialists. Content of gifts is irrelevant to the procedure, but each gift must not exceed $4.28 in worth. Each gift is accompanied by recitation of ceremony.
That is oddly specific.
Epimetheus A in its entirety, and the scattering of grain around the containment chamber. Procedure 440, Cassiel, 240 degrees. Ceremony Cassiel A is recited as containment specialists bind their feet with wool and consume 0.5 liters of olive oil. Then they will break apart a rock weighing at least 200 kilograms with hammers.
Okay. That's disgusting. Like, if any of you guys flat out drink olive oil in that quantity, please tell me how your health is, because I want to know.
Ceremony Cassiel B is recited throughout. Procedure 450, Cairo, 300 degrees. A D-class subject is prepared by painting a symbol.
He's gonna die.
Ring surrounding a dot with an arrow pointing upwards at the 90-degree point, on the stomach with a platinum-based solution, and presented with a blue cloak, crown, and scepter. D-class subject is then restrained in a chair, and Ceremony Cairo A is recited. After recitation of the ceremony Cairo A, the D-class subject is to be castrated by use of a hand sickle by a containment specialist. The testes are then to be disposed of in a bowl of salt water as Ceremony Cairo B is recited.
What the hell, man? This is really, really specific shit here.
Procedure 460, Omphalos, 0 degrees. Ceremony Omphalos A is to be recited before roasting of a child no more than 3 months of age. Ceremony Omphalos B is to be recited before consumption. After consumption of the child, Ceremony Omphalos C is to be recited over the gastroliths, which are then swallowed. Vomiting is then induced, and Ceremony Omphalos D is recited, signaling the beginning of a new cycle. In the case of a containment breach, Site 100's nuclear device is to be detonated, followed by lockdown of all Foundation facilities and activation of Protocol 2845 XK1. Strike down the moon.
Do it now! Just nuke it now! We have the technology!
And this is a message from Containment Consultant to Site Director Dell on January 31st, 2012. Towering Kadath, my home. I have been approached several times already in regards to the containment procedures and their complexity. I have been asked if all of the containment procedures are truly necessary, if they could not be cut down or edited for simplicity, and at least one claimed that they were patently ridiculous. This is my response, and I expect that it will be seen by all of the Foundation staff working on this project. I will not repeat myself, and I find it sickening that after all the struggle to contain this creature, pencil-pushing bureaucrats are still seeking to cut corners where they cannot afford to be cut. The answer is no. The ritual will remain as it is, and will not be changed in any way. It cannot be cut down further, nor can it be added to. it has been set in place, and now that it has begun, any deviation at all could very easily be catastrophic.
I would love to know how they figured out how to hold this thing down. I would really love to figure out how they did this.
Rituals do not work because of some underlying laws, such as those that science operates on. Rituals work because they are rituals. They work because an arbitrary set of criteria has been met with exacting care. Belief that meeting these arbitrary criteria achieves a certain end assigns power to the ritual. The actions that were once meaningless now have been assigned meaning through their repetition and application. This is how one seals away a god, and this is a god. I know that the Foundation does not approve of using this term, but it is still the case. The stag is a god, and it is not a petty local god. It is not one of the mild gods of Earth, or some weaker spirit that is bound by the strength of man's belief. We have, for the time being, fooled it into thinking that we have overpowered it. It does not understand that we do so falsely. It is a god. For gods, words have power. Ritual and belief hold greater power over a god than all the laws of science. However, it must be kept in mind that the stag could escape.
I'm seriously loving this. I just unreal how the one thing I like the most about this is it's meshing the physical and the metaphysical together. And even the researcher himself's like, look, you don't get to set rules about this. These are the rules about how this thing operates. And if we screw with that, we do it at our own peril. And oh man, I love the way that this has been written. Of course, it's TheVolgun. I like the way it's being presented, but I love the way that it's written because it actually conveys that the argument between the metaphysical and the physical very, very well. Because a lot of things in SCP are, this is the first time I've seen really rituals be put into place to contain something to this extent. And these are very specific. And they are like, you can't screw with them. If you do, things go sideways and go badly very quickly. And I'm loving how this letter is coming out saying, look, do not screw with this, or else the consequences are going to be dire. I'm loving it.
Right now, if it so chose. With a thought, this entire facility could turn into a puff of hydrogen. If at any point the stag thought to escape, it would, and we would be powerless to stop it. However, it will not think to escape, or even to change its strategy. The idea will not even pass through its mind. It cannot comprehend the concept. It does not think in the way we think. Truth be told, I would not say it thinks at all. This is an old god. It does not dabble in decisions. Decisions are for creatures who may act erratically, variably, or out of line. A god of this strength simply is.
I'm loving
this. It is
this.
an absolute. It acts as...
Do you guys hear that? Do y'all hear that ridiculousness? Just angry. 1 second. I'm going to go see to these little angry things. That's the one fun thing about puppers. Apparently she decided to take one dog out for a walk, and the other one got insanely jealous and started throwing a fit. And that's my pugs. Anyhow, let's get back into it. Here we go.
As a force. In building this ritual, we have shifted its being the slightest bit, and now it is locked into a pattern of behavior. It struggles against us, we struggle against it, and we are locked together in an eternal dance so long as the ritual remains intact. If one thing goes awry, the entirety is lost, and the deadlock is broken. Unstoppable force without an immovable object. The rituals might seem to be nonsense, but they are what I divined to be the best course of action.
So he just guessed. He guessed. Spreading of grain castrating a guy, and eating a baby. He guessed. Wow.
There are powerful symbols there, and whether or not you think they are appropriate to the situation is irrelevant. I have listened to the converted, and I have listened to the echoes of the stag in their songs.
What?
They are not suffering, but they are no longer human. They are changed, utterly. The ritual remains as it is. Description: SCP-2845 is a quadruped entity, measuring 2.9 meters in height at the shoulder and weighing 815 kilograms.
Damn!
A sinuous neck, generally held in an upright position, extends a further 0.5 meters, terminating in a head with humanoid facial features. SCP-2845 possesses antlers, measuring 4.8 meters across. Antlers are white, with black marbling and coloration, and have not been observed to shed. SCP-2845 is covered...
Okay, this is the Messiah. That's what this thing is. This is the Messiah, okay? That's what this thing is. Oh my... Oh, good God.
...in hair with an average length of 10 centimeters, with the exception of the face, which is hairless. SCP-2845's coloration is primarily a pastel green, with a stripe of cream on the underside of the neck and belly. A ring of ice particles is suspended 15 centimeters behind SCP-2845's skull, measuring 1.7 meters in diameter, with a ring thickness of 35 centimeters. This ring is interrupted at regular intervals by 7 spheres consisting of metallic hydrogen and metallic helium, each measuring 15 centimeters in diameter. The ring and spheres rotate clockwise at a speed of 1.6 RPM. The force maintaining the movement of the ring, the physical state of the spheres, and the means by which SCP-2845 is capable of supporting its head under the weight of its antlers are unknown.
I don't want to know either.
SCP-2845 is capable of instantaneous transmutation and reconstruction of matter. No matter is created or destroyed during this process. This property is manifested at will, with an observed range extending to targets within eyesight. Maximum range of this ability is unknown. Transmuted matter will remain stable despite the lack of other factors. For example, metallic hydrogen and helium are common results, which will remain in either solid or liquid form despite the surrounding temperature. Altered atmosphere will not mix with unaltered regions, maintaining chemical consistency.
That's wild.
The most common transmutation results are the solid or liquid forms of hydrogen and helium, the conversion of atmosphere into a hydrogen-helium-ammonia mix, and the transmutation of plant life into metalloid-based organisms. SCP-2845 will typically surround itself with a transmuted area with a radius of approximately 5 meters at all times. SCP-28...
Okay, so this here is like, it has been reminding me all along, but for the life of me, I cannot think of the name of the deity. I can't think of it, but it's reminding me so much of, like, and see, this is the part where I start kicking myself in the ass, because I really, when I was younger, I really liked studying, ancient pantheons. And this one's been reminding me of one from the ground up for quite some time now, and I can't figure out why.
2845 has proven its...
Well, I know why, but at the same time, I don't know... I can't remember the damn name.
...itself completely resistant to physical damage.
Lovely.
The most common forms of offensive transmutation used by SCP-2845 are a column measuring 5 to 7 meters in diameter and 60 to 80 meters in height, or a horizontal cone measuring between 100 and 150 meters in length and 10 to 30 meters in width at the furthest end. However, SCP-2845 has been observed to attack single targets at distances of up to 10 kilometers. Early observation of SCP-2845 during recovery indicated that it will generally ignore non-combatants, focusing on retaliation against attackers. However, SCP-2845 was not seen to make any attempts to spare non-combatants within the area of effect of its transmutations, and later recovery accounts indicate preemptive attacks against both military and civilian targets. SCP-2845-1 designates human beings that have been modified by SCP-2845. Instances of SCP-2845-1 are hexagonal columns measuring 2.4 meters in height, with a rubbery yellow-green skin. SCP-2845-1 instances do not have any outward sense organs, and autopsy has shown that internal organs are likewise absent, save the brain, which now takes up the entirety of the column and contains the reconstituted mass of the other organs and some additional outside materials. It is unknown how SCP-2845-1 instances derive nutrients, or if any nutrition is required.
Okay.
Neuroimaging of SCP-2845-1 specimens has revealed that the brain is in a constant state of high activity. Analysis of multiple specimens indicates patterns of call and response, so some form of remote communication between SCP-2845-1 specimens is presumed. Modal variants of SCP-2845-1 have been reported, but have evaded capture and study.
Hell no.
Addendum 1. An abridged timeline of SCP-2845 from initial discovery to containment is as follows. November 27, 2011. Initial sighting of Comet C 2011 W3. December 1, 2011. Comet C 2011 W3 confirmed by Mount John University Observatory.
Okay.
December 2nd, 2011. Comet C 2011 W3 confirmed and named by the Minor Planet Center. December 16th, 2011. Comet C 2011 W3 reaches perihelion. Solar Dynamics Observatory records images of a fragment breaking off from the main body of the comet, maintaining a speed of 0.0018 c. December 17th, 2011. Fragment trajectory confirmed to end in a collision with Earth, with estimated impact of December 21st. Thoth Station deterrence procedure fails at changing fragment's course. Public announcement made by the United Nations. Evacuations begin. December 21st, 2011. Fragment impacts in the Pacific Ocean, 124 kilometers off the Western American coast. December 24th, 2011. SCP-2845 believed to reach shore on this day.
Merry Christmas, movie house.
December 25th, 2011. First observation of SCP-2845 through civilian video footage. Drone contact made. SCP-2845 confirmed as hostile.
Okay.
Foundation assets within United States military begin direction of recovery and containment procedures, with assistance of Global Occult Coalition representatives. Foundation containment sites in the region enter lockdown. December 26th to December 29th, 2011. Artillery bombardment of SCP-2845 commences, along with initial battery of tests. Contact with outside containment consultants made at this time upon observation of SCP-2845's properties.
What?
December 30th, 2011. SCP-2845 is unimpeded for 16 hours.
So this thing just walked through all of it. It's lovely.
December 31st, 2011. Bombardment recommences.
Happy New Year!
January 1st to January 14th, 2012. SCP-2845 is led across the Sierra Nevada mountains while remaining under heavy bombardment. Develops initial containment procedures. January 15th, 2012. SCP-2845 reaches predetermined containment area. Initial containment procedures enacted. January 18th, 2012. Initial containment procedures end in success. January 20th, 2012. Construction of Site 100 begins. February 3rd, 2012.
Oh my God.
Refinements of containment procedures implemented. February 19th, 2012. SCP-2845 declared contained.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Alright. I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed.
So basically, this is Bambi's revenge. Bambi's revenge has come to wreak hell on Earth. Oh my god. I said it during the video, I'm going to say it again. I love how they mix the physical and the metaphysical. I love that it came from a comet. There's a lot of mythology that surrounds comets. Usually they're seen as bad signs. I have my own opinion on that, but that's something that you have to get me when it's late at night and I'm ranting and raving about. But we have always, as a people, we don't, up until the point where we, actually figured out what they were. Comets were not a good sign to have in the sky. They were generally considered signs of bad luck. But considering this one came down, the fact that I cannot say right now without looking it up and without doing some research who this deity reminds me, who this deer reminds me of as far as a deity, and it's in European lore. The fact that I can't just automatically do that bothers me. I'm starting to lose my mind. Of all the things I miss my mind the most. Another excellent video by TheVolgun, a well-explained SCP, and another thing that's just going to freak, just another ridiculous idea that is so well thought out. Because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, what's this thing going to be? And then we're talking about rituals, we're talking about bindings, we're talking about legitimate things that were in rituals back in the day, and not that far back in the day either. So the mixture of religious symbolism and science was just all through there. Pagan rituals and the way that things were constructed back in the day to reflect true north. I love this entire thing. Whoever wrote this really, really thought it out, and I applaud them for it. I'm going to be putting all the links for TheVolgun in the description down below, including the link that this actually came from. Give TheVolgun a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and do the same for me. Yeah. And be sure to leave a comment down below. It helps me out with the algorithm. In any case, if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon down below. But besides that, guys, jump in the Discord and yell at me. But whatever you guys plan on doing for the rest of the day, I hope you enjoy it. I'll catch you guys next time. And I'm hitting a button.